Hey guys, welcome to the Bum Wisdom Podcast. This is Aqua Fox. My co-host is Grounded Dolphin. We are talking today in the Bum Wisdom Podcast. We're going to talk about purpose. Now, before I get into what we're going to be talking about today, let me do a little quick history in case you don't know. Myself, Aqua Fox, and Grounded Dolphin, we have been journeying across the country in our vehicle, in our car. We actually lost the car. The car got repossessed. And we continued our journey, even without the vehicle. Um, and as we journeyed, we observed things. We observed things just in their natural order and natural in nature. And as we observed these things, we decided to talk about them, write it down, and talk about it and share our experiences and whatever wisdom we gain out here just being without a home, actually being bums. So that's how we came up with this Bum Wisdom podcast. So today's topic, purpose. Let's deal with it. First of all, when we say purpose, a lot of times we say purpose. We use this word, but who are we talking about? Like who needs purpose? Okay, we're gonna also talk a little bit about what purpose is. What does it mean? We're gonna talk about why. Why is this so important? Why is everyone telling you that you need to be in your purpose, following your purpose? Why is this important? And then we'll talk a little bit about how. Okay, so let's just start at the top. So, who, in order to actually understand purpose, okay, you would actually have to understand who you are as an individual. Let's just imagine that, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm just gonna throw it out there like you've probably heard it already. Uh, there is a story when we were kids about a swan. Oh, the ugly duckling is what it was called. It was a swan that grew up with ducks, and it didn't look like the ducks. So of course it stood out. But of course it stood out because it wasn't a duck; it was a swan. So as it got older, it became a beautiful swan. Blah 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 blah. Everybody saw it. End of story. Right. The thing about it is, you can't be on your purpose unless you first know who the heck are you. Because how would you know what your purpose is? How would you know what your capabilities are if you don't first know who you are? Okay. So, in terms of purpose, if we really truly want to understand purpose, we have to leave off trying to understand purpose. Okay. Give it up. What we need to understand is, who is this person that I see in the mirror every day? Who is that guy? Who is that girl? Who is that person? Okay. Because that person has the purpose. But many of us live our entire lives not knowing ourselves. Perfect example. When you are socialized by your parents, they will typically pick your clothes out for you, let you put your clothes on, whatever like that. Okay. As you get older, your parents will stop doing that. They'll stop picking your clothes for you. You begin to pick your clothes out. You begin to put your clothes together, right? This wearing of clothes is such a simple, easy tenement of culture, right? Super simple. Clothing, covering your nakedness. And yet, the older we get, clothing continues to take on a more and more important part of our life. Without the right clothes, you can't get the right date. You can't get the right job. You can't get the right, you know what I mean? Even simple as in the summertime, when it's hot, if you go to a store, it's not uncommon to see a sign on the store that says no shirt, no shoes, no service. Okay? You can't come in here half naked. I don't care how hot it is outside. I will not serve you. So we start off in this world naked and we end naked. I don't care what they put on you. None of that stuff counts when you're dead. But the clothes, these clothes, they never leave us. They're always there. They're always you need to do X, Y, Z with them. And what you do with them, how you do with them, it just changes. It's so arbitrary. It changes from culture to culture, but never goes away. It's darn near universal, right? So we have to find out who we are. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to go out into the world and people are going to be trying to dress you. People are going to be saying, you deserve this shirt. This is the perfect shirt for you. What do you mean? These are the right pants for you. I don't know why you'd wear any other pants. These are the pants for you. Your teacher is going to tell you to wear certain pants because, you got to be respectable. But when you get to your boss and your boss, let's say you do dirty work, they're going to say, oh my God, did you wear those $200 shoes to go pick up the trash? Please take those off, put some dirty boots on, change your clothes. Okay? Everyone is going to try to clothe you throughout your life because they're going to try to make you into what they believe you should be. We must, if we're going to understand our purpose, we must know who we are first. Forget what my purpose is. Don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be on my purpose today. Forget that. Wake up in the morning, look at that guy in the mirror, that girl in the mirror. Look at that person in the eye, in the iris, the dark black part. Stare at them. Stare at them. Okay? Don't break that gaze for at least 60 seconds, if not more. Look at them. That's who you need to know. Who is that person? Okay? The more you understand who that person is, the more you truly understand who that person is, the more purpose will become completely and totally relevant to your life. You will know what your purpose is by simply knowing who the heck you are. Who am I dealing with? Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, so if you are a dolphin, okay, as grounded is, you're not going to seek out the sand dunes. I don't care if people tell you you will get the best tan that you will ever have in your life sitting out in the sun in the sand dunes. You will look gorgeous as a dolphin. Nice, toasty blue. That's what they're going to tell you. But you're a dolphin. You don't belong in the sand dunes. You can't be in your purpose in the sand dune. You need to get to the ocean. No one's going to be able to tell you that, though. It's going to be you. You are going to have to look inside of your own self and figure out who you are so you can know what you need to be doing. Does that make sense? All right. So, first step, understanding purpose, understanding my purpose. I need to understand who the heck I am. Okay. And who you are, in my opinion, is going to break down to 3 parts. Okay. It's going to be literally your DNA, what you're made up of physically. Okay. Your physical makeup is part of who you are. My son is tall. He's 6'1", 6'2", 6'1", whatever. Right. When he was in the house living with us, whenever he would put stuff away, he'd always put it where he could reach it. Now, he's the tallest person in the house. He can always reach it. But he wasn't doing, putting stuff on top of the refrigerator, on top of the cabinet, on top of this. He wasn't doing that to keep it out of our reach. He was doing that because that's who he is. He is a tall man. So when he puts something at eye level or slightly above his eye level, that's where it's comfortable at for him. That's who he is. You have to understand who you are so you can understand what you're doing. Okay? So that's the first thing. My DNA. Who am I? Who made me? What is my mom? What is my dad? What is their mom? What is their mom and dad? What made me what I am? Your DNA counts. I know we had this discussion, me and Grounded had this discussion about how much do we really put into, the physical form of a human when the soul is what counts, the energy that keeps it animated. That counts way more. However, both count. It's not one versus the other, right? As above, so below. So they both count. You need to know who you descend from. You need to know who you are, what your DNA is going to call to. Okay? Because if your DNA, let's say if you are a person who has sickle cell anemia, let's say you will go out into the world and you want to get married. Well, it's important that you know that you carry the sickle cell trait because you don't want to get married, settle down, have a baby, the baby come out sick, and then you ask the question, I wonder if my husband has the sickle cell trait. It's a little bit too late then, So who you are, your physical makeup it counts. So that's where you would start. You want to find your purpose, you need to start with who you are and your physical makeup. After you do the physical makeup of what made you who you are, you need to go to your experience. And this one, man, we can make a book about this just by itself. Who you are is a reflection of your experience because under natural law, we are experiential creatures. Okay? If you take a dog and you train the dog when it's young, it'll stay that way. If you take a human and you traumatize them when they're young, they will stay that way. Not forever. I'm not telling you you'll never stop. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you want to get an outcome out of a human, have a particular experience around that human. And you can get a particular outcome from that human. Is it cut and dry? Is it always that way? No. Nothing is always one way. Okay, obviously. We're speaking in general under these tenements of natural law. If I abuse you, you are abused. Your response to that abuse, that is where the change comes in at. But what is true is that you were abused. Okay? The experience counts. Quick story. Guys probably heard this one, but there's two sons, right? Both born to a father who is an alcoholic. Okay? The sons, meet up, family dinner, whatever. One of the sons, he grew up and he turned to alcohol and became a drunk. He's sitting at the table, clothes disheveled, reeking like alcohol. Okay. Opposite of him is his brother. Complete opposite. He's well dressed, doesn't drink alcohol, has got himself together. So seeing these two brothers, someone asked, to the one brother, who's in the tables, disheveled and everything. Someone asked him, you watched your father abuse alcohol. Why did you choose to abuse alcohol? And the brother says, I watched my father. And then the person asked the other brother, being perplexed, this guy's clean cut. What the hell? What happened to you? Why'd you turn out the way you did? He said, I watched my father. It's the response that changes in us. That is what we have, the choice to respond, how we respond. But all of us are shaped by experience. What happens to you means the most. If you want to find your purpose, what am I here for? Check your experiences. Look back over those experiences and see, what did that experience teach me? Because two people can go through the same exact experience and come out with something completely different. Total opposite, right? So you the individual, your unique self, your experience counts. You can't ask somebody else. They saw the same movie you saw, listened to the same show you saw, right? You can't look at them and say, did you think that was a good movie? You got to look back at it and say, I think it was good, and keep moving. It's your experience that counts. You cannot find your purpose asking someone about their experience. It's your experience. Okay? So this is how we get closer and closer to this idea of purpose. Okay? You have to understand who you are. What are your experiences? Catalog them. Watch them. Study them. Because that's where the answers are. That's where you find your purpose. Excuse me. And the third thing you want to do in breaking down who you are is to go inside of yourself. The answers that you give yourself inside of yourself are the correct answers. If you want to understand who you are, I'll use myself. I was separated from my father, right? I saw him, I think maybe once when I was like 5 or something, or 3 or 5. This is my memory. Of course, there's more instances of it, but I'm saying from my perspective, me just looking outward to the world, I had remember seeing him maybe twice, and then I saw him, met him again when I was an adult. So that was my experience. When I met him, I got a chance to go over his house. Two things immediately stuck out about this man that I'd never, again, not I've never known, put that way, not never met, but never known. We walk into his house. I look at his setup. First of all, first thing I notice is everything is in order, and I'm saying to myself, "This is comfortable. This is exactly how I would have my house. Everything is in order." Then I noticed he had some like Asian apparel, like a ninja sword or something like that, or ninja stars. And I started asking him about this, this Asian connection, and he said, I don't know what that is, but it's always been that way all my life. And I'm thinking to myself, well, dang, that's the way it is. It's been that way all my life. That's literally me. How is it that this man is just like me, and he's not? I've never known him. I've been around every person in the world but this person. How can I have his traits? Well, again, regardless of my experience, I intuitively knew something about me is from the East. I knew that inside of myself. When I saw him and he had that same pull to the East, I said, it's intuitive. It's not something that I know because I've read it in a book. Something inside of me told me East. And that's just what it is. Part of you understanding what your purpose is, living your best life, is to know intuitively. That is, you have to put the podcast down, cut me off, okay? Stop listening to me and listen to yourself. Inside of yourself is the answer of who you are. Once you know that answer, your purpose becomes much more clear. You understand, oh, I'm a giraffe. I'm not supposed to be down here trying to pick off the little tiny acorns on the ground or whatever that falls on the ground. I'm supposed to be up here with the tall stuff in the trees. This is where my best nutrients is. This is my best life. Does that make sense? You got to do it intuitively. You can't ask somebody else. Okay? So, understanding your purpose. Who am I? What is my DNA makeup physically? What is my experiences? There are no accidents. Everything that happens for a reason. Why did those things happen? Okay? From a third person point of view, you want to look at these experiences. Not, oh, I was raped and that probably happened because of this. No, 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 no. A rape happened. That's how you want to look at that. Okay? A molestation took place. Not you in it, but an experience happened. Like, what was that? What was supposed to be gained from that? Look at your experiences, third person, outside of it. Okay? Third, intuitively. Don't wait for somebody to tell you. Ask yourself, listen to the answer, roll with that. That's how you develop your purpose. Okay? You have to develop who. Who the heck am I? All right? Once you figure it out who you are, then you can move on to, oh, this is what I need to be doing. Okay? So let's jump into this next part of finding our purpose. Let me see where we at time wise. Good. All right. So what? What is the next part of your purpose? What is my purpose? I've kind of sort of narrowed down me for myself, even myself as an example. I had a lot of experiences that I learned from. The experiences, whether they're good, bad, horrible, nice, whatever, I just learn a lot. I'm a nerd. I love reading. I love learning. I just love learning. So when I look back at my experience, I've looked at my DNA. Okay. I look at my experience and I say, man, you learn a lot. You just do this shit. You just learn. That's my experience. And now I go to my intuitive nature. Okay. What do I know intuitively? Intuitively, I know I like to talk to people. I like telling people stuff. So you put those two things together and you get, I think I'm supposed to be a who, my who. I think I'm supposed to be teaching stuff. That's, that's where I ended up with myself. Okay. Then I go to the next thing. All right. Let me see. If this is my purpose, if this is who I am, okay, what the heck am I supposed to be teaching? Okay. In your case, it might be, I don't know what it is, but what is it that you're supposed to be, doing with your purpose? How you break this down, three ways. One, look at the oldest action that you've ever taken in which you felt as if though it was a significant action in your life. Don't count nobody else. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna. Oh, let me go through these three first. Hold on. My oldest action. Okay. Two, natural habits. You want to look at the things that you do without trying. Okay. That'll tell you what your purpose is. Help you find it. And three is your skill. Things that you not only you naturally do as a habit, but things that you pick up uncannily well. Okay, we're gonna break these three down. Hold on. Let's start with this again. Going back to the top. Okay, I asked myself, who am I? Am I, and I went through the three things and I said, okay, this is my DNA. This is my experience. This is what I know intuitively. Okay, what does that mean for me? I looked at my oldest action. I said, what could my purpose possibly be? What is the oldest thing that I remember doing? And I got a crazy, like, feeling like, yo, that was the shit right there. Okay. I was stuck. I had two oldest actions. One, the first action I can remember was stealing a pie out of the windowsill when I think I was 6 years old. I stole this pie and I ate most of it. And I knew I wasn't supposed to. And when the sister came home, I knew I was going to get in trouble with my dad, my brother's dad. So I took the pie and I smeared it on my brother's mouth. And I ran in the other room. So my brother got a whooping, I got a whooping, we got in trouble and everything. But that was the first time that I can remember doing something that had a significant, like, rush, in my life. So that led me to believe maybe I'm supposed to be a cook. The other significant thing that happened to me in my life was I taught somebody something. I had to be maybe in fifth grade, and I was just doing the work, and then the kid next to me was struggling, and I said, try this. He did it, and just that brightness of his eyes, I will never forget that. That is my personal experience. That's what let me know, okay, that is the oldest action that I remember getting, feeling that feeling. Okay. Then I moved on to my natural habits. Okay. Well, as you can see, I talk a lot. Okay. I communicate a lot. Um, Maybe habitually. I don't know. Another natural habit I have is I try to make other people feel comfortable. That's just what I do. Um, a skill that I was able to pick up as soon as I started to learn it was anything having to do with communicating emotion or feeling to another person. So for me, it was the physical skill of dance. I was able to do that, like, that's just what I was programmed to do. And along with dance, I found that other skills I was able to pick up were skills such as poetry and performance. Anything having to do with performance, acting. These are things that I would just pick up naturally. Okay. So when I look at these three things, my oldest action, either the pie or teaching the kid next to me, my natural habits, comforting others, um, learning, my skills, so entertaining skills, capturing attention, transmitting information. I came away with, I believe that what I am is a teacher of some site. I'm a teacher learner or a learner teacher. I think that's what I am. You can do the same thing. You can go through and you can ask yourself, what is the oldest action that I can remember making a significant impact onto this program, this matrix, this reality? What is the first thing that I did that I felt, I think I just moved this thing. I think I just created, I just made something happen. Think of that action, okay? What's going to happen is you'll find that that action, that you affected the matrix, that action is repeated throughout your life, okay? For some of you, it's going to be being a leader. My sister, we were trying to get, I think we were trying to get coffee or something like that. We in this long line, Dutch Brothers, I think it was Dutch Brothers, something like that. Dutch Brothers, Starbucks, whatever. And for some reason, the line wasn't moving. Now, my sister is a go-getter. She is the type of person who goes out and she gets what she wants. She doesn't mind telling people how she feels. She doesn't mind saying, this is what it is. That's just her personality. So she's there. The line's not moving. We looking at the line like, yo, what's going on? It seems like something's not happening, right? As we're all looking at the situation, analyzing the situation, my sister jumps out the car, walks up to the car, in front of the car, in front of the car, in front of the car, and says, you can move up. Just move up. Yeah, move up. Go ahead, you move up. And then she starts directing the traffic, telling each person where to move, how to get them out, make it efficient. Comes back, get in the car. She was living in her truth. She is a director. That is what she does. She tells things to go from here to there. That is who she is. The opposite of her is the person who follows. Don't look down on the follower, okay? You need them. You need someone to get the job done, but you need someone to direct. All of us are important, okay? But before you get confused, you must know what yours is. That's the only way you can find your purpose. You have to know what you are, okay? Find that through your oldest action, repeated action, natural habits, and the skills that you pick up. That's how you'll find out what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the why. All right. So this is not something I'm prepared to give you an answer on. Actually, why your purpose is your purpose. I'm not actually going to tell you that I know the why. I can only use myself and my experience. But in my experience, I believe, in my opinion, that the reason why we must find our purpose in this life is because that life itself, this whole thing, is just a broken puzzle. When you come down here, there's pieces everywhere. Your purpose is to put your piece in the place of the puzzle. Just my opinion. Okay. When you do that, I believe that you will find the most satisfaction and you will get the best out of the journey. Those are the three reasons why I believe why. Why find your purpose? Because you matter. You're an important piece. Because the satisfaction you get from it, I don't think anything will compare to it. And it makes the journey worth it. Just my opinion. I think that one of the things that frustrate us while we're trying to do this thing called life is figuring out what piece we play. What part do I play in this? Okay. Again, understanding yourself, knowing who you are, you can tell a little bit better what your role is going to be, the why you are here. For example, if you study yourself and you find that, I'm a corner piece. I hold down the corner. That's what I do. Once you know that as a puzzle piece, you're not going to be trying to hang around the people in the middle. No shade, but that's not where I go. I'm a corner dude. I go right here in the corner. But what's also important is that you don't get turned around because just because you're a corner piece, which one are you? It's four corners, right? So even knowing and understanding who you are, you must know the why. You have to. You have to seek it out because once you seek out the why, then all of the picture will make sense. I'm a north, I'm a northwest corner. Why? Because I'm the only piece that can do the northwest corner stuff. That's why. Can't nobody else do it like me. Even the one that looks like me, the southeast corner, if you put him up here, it ain't gonna work. He look like me, but it ain't gonna work. You have to know your piece. Okay? In my opinion, you will get the greatest satisfaction from knowing that. Okay? Also, when you are playing your role, being the piece that you are, understanding why you need to do it, and just living in that truth. When you do that, that's basically like all of the corner pieces saying, yo, we corners, we holding it down. We're going to stay right here in the corner. You know what that does for all the people that's trying to put the puzzle together? Do you know how that helps? Because you refuse to move and you stay right there on the corner? Man, you helping the whole puzzle out. Now we not putting pieces in the wrong places because we know for sure, well, it don't go there because that's the corner. This is what we have to do. This is the why. Why find my purpose? Because you are the only person who can do it. That's why. All right. All right, let's move on. So we did who we are, right? I mean, who we are as a person, right? So we can determine what our purpose is. Then we said we're going to look at what things we've been doing in our life to determine what our purpose is and why. The last thing we want to look at is how. Okay, if you've done your reflection, you've looked at yourself, you've seen, this is my DNA. Okay, I have, I'm Nigerian and I'm um, um, Native American. Okay, this is who I am. Why do I act so arrogantly? Because the Nigerian in me, it's always right. I'm always right because I'm always right. That's just what it is. Okay, I know my DNA. I know my experiences have always put me in places where I have to judge between people, even when I hate it. I'm always put in that way, right? I intuitively know what the right thing is. I make the right choices. I know that is wrong and that's right. Once you get that down, boom, you figured out the who. You get to the what. You start looking at your actions. Back on the playground, they used to always point to me and be like, "Yo, was that ball out? Was that ball out? You saw it? Did it go out?" Yeah, they always looking to me, right? You start to understand why, because people need righteous judgment. Okay, then you go on to the how. Well, I look at the how, and it's just my opinion. How you should be in your purpose, how you should be, is again, I'm gonna do it in three ways. I think you should be yourself until you are exhausted. I think you should be yourself until you have nothing left. I believe that being yourself, living in your purpose, is just like working out, working a muscle out. I think that when you put that muscle under stress, the first thing it's going to do is start shaking under that weight and it's going to want to stop. But if you continue to push that muscle, it does nothing but get stronger. Okay? I liken living in your purpose, the how, I liken it to being a 75, 85-year-old man or woman that looks like they 30. Body tight, muscles tight, skin tight, looking good. You want to know, how did you do that? Immediately, everybody wants to know, how did you get to the age you are and look this great, right? Well, if you see a person like that, 99.9 times out of 10, right, that person has regular habits. They know exactly who they are as a person, right? They're content with their life. There's so many different things that go into making that person that you see more than a physical workout. It's number one, discipline. They've had the discipline to remain who they are against the waves that wash over you from the world. And it's impressive. When we see the outcome, we look at them and we go, wow, okay. Now, part of that is your DNA. That's true. But a lot of that is habit. It's what you're doing every single day, what you're thinking every single day, how you are humaning every single day to get you to a particular outcome. So I would say the how to live in your purpose, once I figured out who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, and why I'm doing it, do it till you collapse. I just got on myself today because I'm doing this podcast right now, and I was supposed to do 4 podcasts today. I'm only on my second one. I'm not doing what I'm teaching you guys. Do it till you're exhausted. Do it until you get stronger. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Whatever the thing is. Because when you do it, you will only get better at being you. And you will end up over time with a magnificent showpiece of yourself, who you are. It will just shine through and it'll be beautiful because you've worked on it. So that is the last part, the how. How do I live in my purpose? Well, after the first three, after you figured out, who you are as a person, what you're made up of, what your experiences are, what you know who you are. Once you figure that out and this is what I'm about. This is what I do. I don't even think about it. This is just what I do. Once you figure that out and you know why you're doing it, do that shit till you can't do it no more. That's what you do. If you are a teacher, you're supposed to be learning and teaching. Learn and teach till you can't no more, till you fall out. Then get up and do it again. That is my understanding. That is just what I've gathered. This is a little bit of bum wisdom that I've gathered from being a bum. So that is purpose, you guys. That's going to wrap it up for today. I am Aqua Fox. Grounded. Hopefully she'll be able to join me on the next podcast. But that wraps up purpose. So guys, get out there, live in your purpose, and not just say the word, but truly understand it. And yeah, do the damn thing. All right. All right. This is Aqua Fox with Bum Wisdom. I will see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.